Hello, friends. So I just got back from the Dragonsteel convention in Salt Lake City. That was a blast. It was really big. It was the first time I'd gone, and everyone who went there said that it was a lot bigger than it was last year. Apparently, it's getting bigger and bigger. It was fun. A lot of good workshops and Q and A's. It was cool seeing a lot of fantasy fans all there together. Um, and because I went there, I've fallen behind in my NaNoWriMo, but I will catch up. I'm confident that I'll also be able to hit 50K for the month. So, what I want to talk about today is heroes and whether they can do bad things. And I want to qualify that. I like it's not that I think that like sometimes people really get caught up in wanting to create an anti-hero or like a complex hero where you have a hero who's pursuing this good goal, but he does all these bad things. That's not what I'm talking about. Um, I I I believe in real morality and very real moral laws, but I also believe that morality is complex and that it's it's hard to make generalized statements about how people should act because circumstances do change, and the underlying principles are what matter, and those principles will be manifested in different ways in different circumstances. Now, um, but, but what I'm talking about is not even it's not heroes who just flagrantly do bad things because, like, for example, a hero that goes around killing people, but he's still pursuing this good goal, so he's still a hero, but he kills people for fun or kills people who belong to certain groups and things like that, and he has no remorse. I'm not talking about that. That's kind of an anti-hero. I'm not talking about um, a hero who is trying to do the right thing but sometimes does the wrong thing and trying to do the right thing. Example of that would be the main character Darrow in the series that I just finished reading by Pierce Brown in the Red Rising series. He does in the end of the third book. He does something knowing what he's doing, not being forced to do it. It's but he's fighting a war and he just kind of thinks like, well, this is the kind of thing you have to do in a war, so I'm going to do it. And it has a lot of negative repercussions later. But I'm not even talking about that either. What I'm talking about is that he is a hero who has just like you see in his past or even in the story as it's going that he's done something terrible. And there's not really any he doesn't make any justification for it. Can that person still be a hero? And I think that the answer is yes. And an example of this is um, Bandas in Wild River. I'm not going to go into detail of what he does because once you read the story, but in his story, you get a flashback of when he's younger, and when he was younger, he did something terrible, unequivocally terrible. It's not even like a uh, morally gray area. Like someone was victimized, and he was complicit in that. I wouldn't say that he was at fault, but he was complicit in that. But the thing is that he didn't want to do it, and he was pressured into it by his society because of the expectations of his society, and also because of threats. Um, and he didn't want to do it at the time, and he was hesitant to do it, but he ended up doing it, and it was this terrible thing. And it's clear that he immediately felt remorse, but he still did it, right? And I know that some people reading my story, getting that part, they might be turned off from that. And I can understand that because readers, especially fantasy readers, want a simple world where you have good guys and bad guys, right? And you don't want to see good guys doing bad things. But I think this was important for me to put in there, not because I wanted to make him morally complex in the sense of having a vague sense of morality and showing that human morality is not even a real thing. No, I don't want to do that. I want to show that you know what we all do bad things. Maybe not that bad, but we all do bad things, and that's inevitable. At some point in our lives, we've all done it, done something bad, right? And the question of whether or not you're a good person is determined largely by what you do after that. Do you seek restitution? Do you seek wholeness? Do you admit that what you did was wrong? Are you actively going out and trying to reverse that effect and to keep similar things from happening again? That is what makes you a good person. And that's what I'm trying to show with Bandas. He is going out and he's actively trying to make the world a better place, specifically because of the guilt that he feels for what he did in the past, right? I think that too often we're afraid of showing any real error on the part of heroes. Like for example, I remember seeing in Batman one Batman short film where Robin is killed, and then later Ra's al Ghul brings Batman back from the dead, and brings Robin back from the dead, and then Robin is changed. He's different now. He's vindictive. He comes back as the Red Hood and becomes a vigilante who does go around killing people, and he's angry at Batman, and he's trying to fight Batman because he blames Batman for his death. But the thing is, when you look at the story, Batman, it really isn't at fault for his death at all. Batman basically did nothing wrong. And I think that that's kind of cheap in a story to have a hero that basically never does anything wrong. I think it would have been better, made a better story if Batman had actually done something, made a poor choice, shown a bit of moral weakness that led to Robin dying. I think that would have made for a better story. Not to say that he would become just completely become a villain, but to show a moment of moral weakness on the part of Batman. I think that would have been a more interesting story, and it would have been a more morally constructive story to show not only show Batman as an example of what you should be, but also show Batman as an example of how you should deal with the realization that you have done something wrong. And I think that this idea that a good person never does anything bad actually tends to be counterproductive in producing good people, because it tends to cause us to not want to admit that we have done something wrong. Because then we say, oh no, I am a good person, therefore I could not have done something wrong because I'm a good person. And so we don't want to admit it. Whereas if we're able to accept the fact, okay, even good people do bad things sometimes because of this or that, but good people deal with it by admitting that they have done wrong and seeking restitution and seeking to help bring about wholeness again and all that. That is much more constructive. And so that is why I have my heroes sometimes do bad things. And Bandas is not the only one. My story revolves around two heroic arcs, Bandas and also Lavenda. And Lavenda, I'm not going to go into detail about her right now, but she was raised in a house, and I say house in the sense of of a noble house, in a house of evil people who do evil things on a daily basis. And that was her environment. That was what was normal to her as she grew up. And so she, when she was young, did terrible things. But in the story in Wild River, you see her rising above that. So yeah, that's what I think is important. I think that it is important to show that heroes can be imperfect, morally, not just in the sense of not knowing everything, but morally imperfect. They can do bad things sometimes and still be heroes, not because those bad things don't matter, but because they are willing to accept that they have done wrong and do something about it.